Hello there chums, it is I, Captain Stephen Exo, and yeah, I may as well introduce my little Gek cohorts. We've got Specialist Lect and we've also got Prospector VI. Anyway, onwards and upwards, we have news chums. So yeah, normally when I'm up on my freighter I have news for you and I hit up one of these panels and interject with the old news. So yeah, let's do some of that, shall we? Let's do some of that. Let's fire up some news. So yeah, there's been some awesome quotes and also a video segment I wish to share with you guys. So executamundo, Exo! Okay, right, well I've extracted a couple of quotes from the news article that I put in the video link description. Please go read it because there's far more there. But the bit that I'm gaining from this is the team has been split in two. Half working on No Man's Sky and half working on the new ambitious project. So yeah, 12 people are still working on No Man's Sky, which is freaking awesome. Their new project is not a sequel to No Man's Sky, and they've made that extremely clear. But having 12 people working on No Man's Sky is awesome news for the community, and it means that we're going to get plenty more updates, and I've actually put that there in those quotes, so there is more en route to us. Heck yes! Awesome news! Okay, and there's also this video section. Now this is just a section. For the full thing, please check out the video description. Heck yes.
Sean Murray is very keen for you to know that Next isn't a finale or a sequel, but a step. Hello Games might not want to talk about what it's making, but it absolutely is making new things. So is there any word on an overall vision, if not specific features? Going by Murray's comments, you can sum it up in a word: bigger. Murray now seems to see his original lonely vision for the game as a piece of a wider idea. You can still play that way, but Hello aims to add much more to the template, and add it more frequently. He knows some see a game constantly in flux as a negative, but he seems to prefer to think of it more like evolution, adapting and improving. That won't stop for the foreseeable future, and from the little I can glean, multiplayer seems to be where the team's focused for now. It feels appropriate. The early game was designed to be lonely, and I imagine Murray was lonely himself, weathering the brunt of the Twitter storm in those first months. Multiplayer finally adds light and laughter to his quiet galaxy. It's probably no surprise that he wants to stay in that headspace for a time. But for all this artistic vision, there's always the looming question of money. No Man's Sky has been a one-time purchase for 2 years, a true rarity in the current industry, and while each update presumably brings with it a fresh wave of buyers, there must surely be diminishing returns. How sustainable is this model? The answer, at least for now, seems to be something along the lines of, who cares?
Okay, so the team's split in two. It makes you wonder who's on which team. You know, is his core individuals that he had them making on No Man's Sky now on this new ambitious project, and his new interns and new people are all still working on No Man's Sky? I'm not sure. And what does that actually mean? Does it mean that we're going to be getting lots of smaller updates like we've had this year and no large anniversary updates? Time can only tell. But it does mean there's 12 people working on No Man's Sky, which is awesome. Okay, right, so that's the interesting news. Now, what I find interesting there is half the team, well, they've split the team in half. So half the team is working on the new ambitious project, and half the team is continuing to work on No Man's Sky, and they've said there's a lot more updates coming to No Man's Sky. And it could be some time until we see this new ambitious project. So that means, for now, the future of No Man's Sky is fairly much secured. Now, I'd like to hope, I would love to hope, and you know how I like to hope on things, but I'm hoping that also means maybe a next-gen port. That'd be freaking mind-blowing. You know, if they do want to support this into the future, they've already brought it onto so many different platforms. I'm hoping a next-gen port is one of those things that they're considering for No Man's Sky. But part of me is like, oh my days, what is their new ambitious project? I mean, they said it's like No Man's Sky. Doesn't mean to say it has got anything to do with space or exploration or anything. I'm not going to speculate into that because it's too loose to speculate into. And while we're on the subject of maybe de-speculation or de-hyping, I got thinking about those free titles a little bit more the other day. You know, I've done the video on the titles. Well, yeah, I've been thinking about that a little bit more. I'm going to hit up a bit of footage of me over in the Nexus pondering about stuff. Executamundo! Well, hello there, welcome over to the Nexus. And yes, I'm bringing you guys out there some de-hype. Yeah, that's something I don't do all that often, isn't it? So yeah, so those free titles, you have Lonely, you have Dreamers, and then you have Everyone Procedural. Well, what if procedural. Well, what if we've already got all 3 of those? You're like, hold on, Captain. What do you mean? We haven't got those, have we? Have we got them? I don't think so. Yeah, well, in the Nexus, there are 12 NPCs inside of the Nexus. Normally, I mean, Mr. Owlface has gone missing, but if he was here, that would make the full 12. And in the ARG and the Wakened Titan, there was 12 Dreamers. So maybe the 12 Dreamers are the 12 NPCs that are already up in this Nexus. And maybe the weekend missions, with them all disappearing, hence Owlface has disappeared right now, Hesperus, you know, what if that is Dreamers? What if that element is already there, you know? Now, the other one is Lonely. Well, we had an update. What was that update called? It was called Desolation. And desolation means loneliness. So perhaps we've already got that as well. We're already lonely. And you know what? The other one, everyone procedural. Let's go talk to Mr. Helios, because he's got me a gift. Hello there, Helios. Well, he says hello there, young one. Well, you obviously can't see me in the real world. Right, okay. So here you go. I'm going to ask about derelict freighters. Every single derelict freighter that you find using an emergency broadcast receiver is procedural in its orientation. Inside of the actual freighters themselves, every single one is procedural. So what if those 3 titles already line up to what we have? It's another theory. Boom, right there, you know. But it could be alluding to 3 totally new things. Dreamers might mean that we're going to get some more lore around these NPCs. We might actually get some of their backstories, their origins, all that sort of shenanigans. Lonely could be a new sort of ambient mode, where perhaps base building, you've just got a standard base that you can put down where you want, and you'll move it from place to place. Just have one base stored in your base computer, and you can move it or rebuild it, or something like that. But because you're not building bases everywhere, and you're not going to encounter other bases perhaps, maybe they might be able to implement some home worlds or city worlds or something like that. I don't know, but an ambient mode of some kind. And then the other, everything procedural, maybe a link to, you know, that title that I put out the other day. I put out a video the other day, so here you go. I'll put the card up there to that other video about what I think everyone procedural could mean if it's not the actual freighters. But there we go. So you get a little bit of D-hype. You know, I might as well keep it grounded as well as up in the clouds, because I like to stay impartial and stay on the fence. Myself, I'm one of these guys that sort of, you know, glass is half full sort of type person. So when it comes to me thinking and speculating, I'm usually speculating about the future events. But yeah, anyway, back over to Captain Steve at the freighter. Over to you, sir. Take it away. So there we go, chums. So you've sort of heard my sort of left and right ideas where it comes with the speculation of those 3 titles. It could mean frickin' anything, you know. What I've learned with Hello Games is you never know. You never know until it actually appears what the fudge they're going to do. You know, you can't read their freaking minds. I mean, it's like the whole living ships thing. Did I guess that right? Heck no, I didn't. No, I mean, who could have guessed we was going to get organic freaking ships? It's freaking mental. I thought the void eggs were going to be for creature farming. I thought we could put them in a farm and it would spawn creatures randomly from that actual planet inside of your farm. So every time you go there, you're guaranteed to have creatures there. But heck no, I was freaking wrong. I was well off-piste with that one. However, my idea, it sounded logical. It was joining dots together. We've got all the farming machines. We've got farms that are absence of creatures. So sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. It's freaking hit and miss. You would have thought, logically, we would have got creature eggs. But there you go. Anyway, you guys out there, stay golden, and I'll see you again soon. Take care for now. Goodbye all. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And I want to say a massive, great big thank you for watching my video, and also another thank you to all of my Patreon backers. And yes, if you want to back me over on Patreon, see the video description for links on how to do so. Check out all the tiers. There's something there for pretty much everyone. I also have YouTube membership. Thank you to all my YouTube members. Thanking you very much indeedy doody. Heck yes. There's all different tiers over on the YouTube membership as well. So if you're thinking of supporting me, please check out both before making the decision. And I also have merch. Nice and fine and dandy merch, including socks and a t-shirt or a vest or a mug. Heck yes. And I also have 3D printed Atlas passes. Again, see the video description and my own website. Yeah, another way to support my channel is just don't skip my adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue, or just hit one of these buttons on this screen. Heck yes.